This is what I do for you guys. I burn my mouth. Oh my God. This Easter pie will have me hippity-hoppiting all the way around my house. Come with me because we're about to make Pastiera Napoletana Easter wheat pie. Let's get started. Today we are making an Easter staple in my house and in a lot of Italian households for Easter. It's called Pastiera Napoletana. It is wheat pie. We eat it at Easter. It's a ricotta filling with cooked wheat berries, and it's lightly sweet, lightly fragranced with orange and citrus zest, and it's absolutely delicious. I'm sure that you've seen it in bakery cases. It looks almost like a cheesecake, but it has a lattice top to it. That's what we're making today. So let's get started. So for our wheat pie, we are going to start off with the pie crust. Now, a lot of people make this with either the wheat berries like I'm making it today, or they make it with rice. Either way, I like it no matter what. I prefer the wheat berries. I feel like it gives it a very nice chew against the creamy filling, almost reminiscent of like tapioca, if you will. Whereas the rice is rice, right? So it gives it a much more rice pudding-esque feel. So we're starting off with the pie crust. Then we're gonna make the wheat filling, and then we're gonna make the ricotta cheese filling. We're gonna combine everything, and we're gonna have a magical Easter pie. So first things first, we have to make the crust. So I use my hands and a bowl, that's it. No need to dirty utensils. These are your best utensils. So we're gonna start off with the flour. So I have 3 cups of flour, and then a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna give that a good mix around just to get the salt incorporated into the flour. Now I like to add my orange zest next because I like all of the orange zest to get incorporated into the flour before I start adding any of the wet ingredients. So we need a teaspoon of orange zest. That's it, right there. Do not hit the white pith. It's going to be bitter. 2 or 3 strokes, and that's it. And when you're grating your orange, you can feel the difference between the skin or the peel and the pith, the white part. It starts to get, when you start grating it, it's a little rough, but then the second you get to the pith, it starts to become smooth. So you know you should stop. So that's about a half an orange, a medium-sized orange. Get it all off the back. So now we're just gonna give that a mix in to the flour. So once we have our orange zest incorporated into our flour, I'm gonna add in the sugar. That's a half cup. And I'm just gonna give that a mix. Now we have all of our dry ingredients combined. So now I'm gonna add in 1 cup of butter. I grate my butter on a box grater, and then I stick it in the freezer and I let it get solid, like that. See, it's crumbly. This saves you so much time cutting the butter into the flour because you don't need to. You've already got your butter into little ice cold pieces, and the butter gets colder faster. So that is a lifesaver. Grate your butter. So now we're gonna incorporate the flour and the butter, the sugar, the orange zest, the salt, and you just want it to resemble little peas inside your flour. So just work it in there for a second. We're trying to make sure that the butter is coated with flour and that all of the flour and butter is combined. That's it. See? And we have little pea-sized pieces of flour and butter. So now I'm gonna add in 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now you're just gonna mix this together until all of your ingredients are combined. So once you have your dough all mixed together, you just want to sprinkle some flour on your work surface, not too much, just a light dusting, and then you're going to dump it out of the bowl and onto your work surface. So you're just going to want to work it together till it comes together. At first you're going to think, oh my God, it's too crumbly, it's not going to work. No, it works. So just shape it into a ball. Once your dough is in a nice disc, you're going to want to clean off your work surface for a second. When I use flour, I like a bench scraper, because it makes cleaning up flour super duper easy. And you don't wind up having flour all over your house. Now that we're all cleaned up, you're gonna cut this disc in half. But I'm gonna cut one slightly bigger than half, maybe 3/4, using the same bench scraper. Because the bigger half is gonna be for the bottom and the smaller half is gonna be for the lattice top. So we're gonna take some saran wrap and we're gonna wrap each piece. And then once it's in the saran wrap, I just like to form it into a ball, or as round as I can get it. That way when we start rolling it out, it makes it easier. So we're gonna take each piece and we're gonna stick it in the refrigerator and we're gonna let it rest for 1 hour. While the dough is resting in the refrigerator and getting a nice chill on it, we're gonna start with the wheat mixture. So I have 1 cup of milk that I'm gonna add to a saucepan, 2 tablespoons of butter, and cooked wheat berries. You can find these in the Italian section of your grocery store or any Italian market. Basically, they're just wheat berries that have already been cooked for you. So it literally takes 1/4 of the time to make this filling because your berries are already cooked. So we're gonna use 15 ounces. So we're gonna use about 3/4 of this jar because this is a 20-ounce jar. Okay, so to that, we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of orange zest. If you couldn't tell, this pie is very citrus forward with all the orange, but it's not overpowering. You don't bite into it and go, boof, orange. It's more scented, it's more subtle. So that was a teaspoon of orange zest, and then we're gonna use a teaspoon of lemon zest. So now we're gonna put this on the stove. We're not gonna move away from it, and we're just gonna cook it for about 10 minutes or until a thick pudding-like consistency forms. Our wheat berries are cooked, and you can see they're creamy and they've thickened slightly. So now we're gonna take it out of the pot and we're gonna pour it into a bowl, and it's gonna thicken even more as it cools. And we're just gonna set this aside and let it cool completely. So while that's cooling, we're gonna move on to our last step, and that's the ricotta mixture. So in a bowl, we're gonna put 2 cups of very well drained ricotta cheese. I put it inside a cheesecloth, inside a strainer, and drained it overnight. And you can see how much liquid comes out of it, right? That's why you want to drain it, because you don't want a wet, soupy filling. So to our ricotta cheese, we're gonna add in 1.25 cups of sugar, and we're gonna give that a good mix, just till it's all combined. So now we're gonna add in the last of our orange zest, which should be about a teaspoon. And can you see for this pie, not 1 ounce of orange zest went to waste. And now you can eat this orange. A teaspoon of the lemon zest. And again, this is a small lemon, so there won't be any waste with the lemon either. And then you can cut up the lemon and put it in your water. Get all of your zest off of your microplane. Now I'm gonna add in 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, a tablespoon of orange blossom water. This is not to be confused with orange extract, 2 very different things. This stuff is lovely. It's just ever so slightly scented orange. It smells so good. A teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 egg yolks, and I'm just gonna mix that until this is all combined. See, we didn't need to whip out the KitchenAid or any fancy mixers or anything. This is meant to be rustic. It was made back in the day with a bowl and a spoon. So now I have 4 eggs, and I'm gonna add in the eggs one at a time until they're fully incorporated. All of our mixture is combined and incorporated, so we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna wait for our wheat berry mixture to be cooled off and at room temperature, then we're gonna fold that into this mixture. And then we're gonna pour this mixture into our pie crust. So we'll come right back and I'll show you the next step. So we have our wheat mixture that is nice and cool. And see, I told you it would thicken as it sits. So now we're just gonna take the wheat mixture that we made and we're gonna put it into our ricotta mixture. Make sure you get it all in there. This smells fantastic already. And then we're just gonna fold in gently the wheat berries into the ricotta filling. So now our filling is complete. So we're gonna put that aside for a second. And we're gonna take out our pie dough that we made. That's nice and chilled. It's been in the refrigerator for about an hour. So now we're gonna take some flour and just dust our surface again. Spread it out. So we're gonna take the larger piece that we wrapped up, and we're gonna roll this out, and this is the piece that's gonna go in our pie pan. Oh my God, it smells so good. Just dust the top with a little bit of flour. Make sure you get your rolling pin, and just start rolling it out, turning it about a quarter of a turn each time. So now we have our first dough all rolled out, and you can tell that it's big enough if you put your pie pan in the middle and you have a large overhang. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna fold this dough into quarters so that we can get it into our pie dish. Put the point of the pie dough in the middle, and then you can just gently unfold it. Now you see how that fits perfectly? A common mistake that a lot of people make is when they're using pie dough and they put it in the pan, they push it down and they force it in. That causes shrinkage in your dough, and that's not what you want. So you just pick it up lightly and you let it fall into the pie dish. There, and that's all you have to do. So we're gonna leave this overhang for a second, and then we're gonna move on to the next dough. So again, just gonna flour your surface, get it into a nice ball shape. So our second dough is all rolled out, and you don't have to worry about making this one into a circle because we're just gonna cut lattice strips from it. So we're gonna fold this over for a second and move it to the side, and we're gonna bring back our pie dish. Now we're gonna take our filling and we're gonna dump it into the pie dough. And you see how that's the perfect amount for a 9-inch pie. So now we're gonna take the excess dough and we're gonna find our pie pan, and we're just gonna cut around the pie pan, getting all of that excess dough off. She's coming together now, isn't she? So now we're gonna leave this lip. This is not a pie that you crimp the crust. You just leave it there for a second and I'll show you why. Let's push that over to the side for a second. Let's take out our second pie dough, and we just kind of want to square it up, getting rid of all of these wonky edges. And I'm just using a pie cutter here. So now we're just gonna cut about, I'd say, 1/2-inch strips. They don't have to be perfect. This is a rustic pie, so don't worry about it. So now that you have all of your strips, I just like to take my rolling pin one more time and just stretch them out a bit. So now we have our pie back. So now we're just gonna start laying the strips across the pie and pinching them into the top of the pie. So now we have our 4 strips down. So now we went vertical, so now we need to go horizontal. So we're just gonna lift up and place it down. And we're gonna do that to every other one. And then wherever you started with the first one, go opposite. One more. Our lattice is done. So now we're gonna just trim off one more time. Okay, so our beautiful Easter wheat pie is almost done. Isn't she pretty? So now we have to pop this in a 350-degree oven for about an hour and 10 minutes, or until the crust is golden brown and the filling is set. Our Pastiera Napoletana is done, and doesn't she look beautiful? Oh my goodness. Now we just gotta do one last thing. We have to dust it with powdered sugar. It's a must. Oh my goodness. Come on now. Look at that. The smell in this kitchen right now would knock your socks off. I'm telling you, it smells just like a bakery. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, guys. Can you see it? Look at how beautiful that came out. And it's still steaming. But I don't care, because I'm going to eat it. This is what I do for you guys. I burn my mouth. Oh my God. This Easter pie will have me hippity-hoppiting all the way around my house. This is fabulous. I don't understand why I don't make this more than once a year. This is so good. It's so light and delicate, yet stable and firm. And you would think by the looks of it that it would be dense and overwhelming, and it's not. It's absolutely perfection. Now guys, don't be a gavone like me and cut into it when it's hot. Make sure that you let it come to room temperature and chill it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours before you cut it. Or you can be special like me and just eat it hot. Either way, it is so good. If you want the recipe to my Pastiera Napoletana, my Easter wheat pie. Just comment recipe in the comment section below and I'll be sure to send it to your DM. Thanks so much for watching.